Look, and like the elderly are here and they're just living their best life next to the orchard. Hey guys, WheatyWaffle here today, and we are back in the city of Westfield, and we're actually riding on one of our new bus lines for this area. And I don't mean new as in the ones we did in the last part. I actually went in and with some of the feedback you guys left in the comments, I reworked all of the bus lines in this space. So let me zoom out here really quick. So this is the new area that we've been working on. It's technically 3 separate suburbs. We've got Park up here, we've got Rainy Flats up here, and then down here is the waterfront district. And I do want to go in and kind of do some additional zoning here today, so we're going to work on that in just a bit. But for our different bus lines, let's bring up the bus view. I actually pulled it back a bit. So at the end of the last part, I think I had 5 total bus lines here, and I just reworked it a little bit so that it was only 3 bus lines, and this more accurately matches what was in the thumbnail, which kind of came to me after I finished recording the last part. So right now we have this yellow loop here. I believe this is like the Rainy Willow loop. The whole point of this loop is to move people from this train station that have maybe been coming from all over the city, since this train station does end up directly connecting to our central station over here. It will move people from this train station all throughout the suburbs. It stops about every 3 blocks, comes all the way down to the waterfront, comes back up, passes through over this area where we have our high school, and then hits the university once before stopping again at the train station. And then it does the reverse of that, with slight deviation in areas like this where I didn't feel like I needed to stop here and then one directly off this turn. So instead I moved the stop inside of the residential areas. So then we have the waterfront district. I believe this loop here is called the waterfront. This is the waterfront loop. This is just the Rainy Willow circuit. But the waterfront loop, the whole purpose of this is to grab the people who want to go left to right. It doesn't fully make it to the avenue, but this is only a 2-block walk. So once we put some businesses and things in here, that's going to be more than fine. And this stop will really suffice to service these areas. I don't imagine there'll be much else happening down here. So I don't think that's a big deal. And it does come all the way over, and it sparingly stops, doesn't do any stops, I believe, along this whole route here. This is just to transport people back and forth. But it does do one stop here in Park so that it's able to transfer people over to the green line. And the green line is our Park connector. It's slightly different than the previous one because this pink line is kind of encroaching on some of what we originally had Park line do. But this Park line now connects from the train station to the university, sharing that stop with the yellow line, hits the airport once, goes through the suburban area or the residential area of Park, does one touch here at the airport, comes in and shares 2 stops with the furthest outskirts of Cardona City, and then shares this one stop in the little, like, quote unquote downtown of Park. These bus lines are much more efficient, both in covering the area, but in also making sure that I don't have too many vehicles. Because if you look, the traffic in this area is impeccable. And before, once I loaded this save, it was a bit more challenging or a bit more congested because there were just too many buses sharing the same roads. So we've minimized that a bit, and it looks a little bit better here. Now, what I want to focus on today, we're getting really close to hitting that 100,000 goal, and I already have decided that we're probably going to have to go a bit further after the 100,000 because there's so many things I still want to do in this city. So I think what I want to focus on today is filling out some of the zoning in this area if I can. If you remember, we were trying to be mindful of this gap between the number of people employed and the number of jobs available. We're still having some issues with not enough workers, but this looks to be more focused on the educated workers, which could just be that the people in this area have not yet finished university and have not been able to fill those jobs. Quickly double check our education. We've got capacity for both in this area. This doesn't have great reach, so maybe we will add one more high school in this area. Let's put this high school, since this is our area here. Let's shove it here in this corner. That gives pretty decent coverage for all of that. Oh, that's perfect. I don't think in the rest of the city we're having many issues with not enough workers. Yeah, we've kind of solved the not enough workers issue for everywhere else. And this guy is full, so let's go ahead and empty that. And in the interim, just double check. Oh, we've got a crematorium, we're good. I think even though we have this one building or two buildings here, we've addressed the problem we were having with not enough workers. So we're gonna go ahead and take the risk and build some more residential, or excuse me, some more commercial in these areas. So I do want everything across from this train station, all of this is gonna be commercial. I think this whole block is gonna also be commercial, as well as this little side road. Here's our park, so we're gonna leave that empty. I might hold on to this plot of land. We will see. This here, again, will all be commercial. And I kind of want to turn this corner here, I think, into some type of gardens. But we'll do commercial up here as well. All right, so that's tons of commercial in that area. Let's go ahead. We still have residential demand, and we did zone this to fit some residential. So let's go ahead and put them in. All right, so now that has some trees. Did we zone this area here? We did. All right, so now this is going to fill out. That's going to quickly destroy that need for commercial. And then I think what I'll do, I actually want to remove these 2 rows. Actually, we're going to remove a few things. Okay, hold on. We're moving too quickly because there's some things I want to get rid of. I want to get rid of all that. I want to get rid of this. And I want to get rid of, what if I did that? Okay, that's fine. Let's go ahead and put down offices here in the middle. That will service some of the needs for our higher educated workers. And then we're actually just going to bring this straight on through. That'll be another path. I don't love these 2 zoned areas, so maybe those will just become, those can just become something something smaller. Maybe we'll do something like that. Okay, let's put in a path. I think that's good. That'll give me a few small office buildings. I don't think we'll get anything too large over here, although we do have really high land value in this area. And the last thing I want is massive office buildings. Let's check. Rainy Flats is 67, 69, Park 70. Okay, let's put on the high-rise ban policy, just so that we don't get too high of a building. I mean, this I'm fine with. It's the same size as the hospital, that's okay. So now we have the high-rise ban on this area, that's great. This is gonna start filling out. Let's go ahead and begin to finish up these parks. So we have this park here, but we haven't really done much with it. So I wanna try to finish out as much as I can for this area. Before we move on, I have so many other things I want to do, but I want to make sure we're doing this in a way that I don't forget to come back and get some of this stuff done. So let's put this right in the middle of the lot there. All different kinds of ways you could enter this park. I don't necessarily think I want anything on this back road or this road, but these other roads could absolutely have some additional entrances. We'll do one here. We can do one over here next to the elder care facility. We'll do one here next to this the botanical gardens. Maybe we'll put one here. We'll definitely put one over here, I think in line with the bus stop and in line with that path. And then we'll have one here next to this road, as well as just like a general one connected to this side. I think will be good. For here, we have an entrance in here that can connect to here and to here, which is good. This can connect to here. Let's do one more on this edge. So we have 3 connections there. Now I'm gonna go in and I'm just gonna quickly put fences around everything, and then we will start actually doing some of the decorations. Okay, so now we have fenced off everything. It looks even so much better with the fence, just because you can't then like see all the zoning in there. Okay, so we're fenced off. Now let's go ahead and start figuring out the pathing. So this is the main entrance here, and I think this particular curved area is going to be a very curated garden. I want to try to like make a very, I don't know, a very just like manicured, intentional looking garden. Whereas with the rest, I want to try to have more of a natural setup to things. All right, so we have that there. Then what I want to do for the rest of this, I'm actually going to change the path for this second portion. Let's go here. Let's grab the nature reserve path. It's not going to match up perfectly here with this entrance area. Oh, and we probably should turn off prop anarchy. So now we have every entrance connected up. I do want to do one small thing here. We have this power line, which if I go and check my power, if I were to get rid of this, would we stay connected? Ooh, just barely, but we are connected. Because what I want to do here instead is I want to actually have a bridge for our people to walk across. Let's bring this up. People are already using the path. That's amazing. I want to turn off anarchy for this. And I want to see when is it going to be high enough. So 23, does 20 work? 20 also works. 16 does not work. Okay, so 20 does work. So I want to have a bridge crossing maybe in between the trees here. Just like so, just like an old wooden bridge. This will go straight. Let's keep the angle. And then let's bring this down to 3. 10 units at 3. Let's do 7 units on the ground. We'll curve this in. And then again here, we're going to do 7 units to the ground. Oh, this one actually could connect in that way. Let's do it. Let's do it. I do want to make one small edit to this where this would come in some more. There we go. I don't love this connection here, but that's going to be okay. But now we have a way to get across, and it's meeting the height clearance. Oh yeah, we're just fine. We could also think about doing a different way to get across into here, but I kind of want to pretend that they're 2 separate parks, even though they're technically one park. I do want to go ahead and change this up again. I'm not happy with this. What I want to do is for this area, and I think probably we might get through this whole episode, do a bit more zoning, but this is going to be a lot of this. A lot of park building today, which I'm excited about. All right, I'm going to make kind of like a courtyard style shape here. There we go. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we have that set up, and then I do want to make one other addition in an effort to get the power over here where it needs to be. Let's put a line here in the middle. We'll put it here. We'll adjust it in a second. Actually, we'll adjust it now. Let's scoot it over. And then we'll bring it over a little bit and over a little bit. And those are going to be where we have all like the different services, the cafe and the info center, all that kind of stuff. Actually, the info center is going to go at the front. Let's grab that first. Is this that's park info booth? So we're going to put this right here at the front. Okay. Can this fit in here without... Oh. Ooh, it can. It can. I know it. I feel it. Maybe it can't. So we're going to anarchy you right in here. Because we're so close. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Let's go ahead and put down the... Is this the cafe? Yeah, let's put a cafe here. We'll put the cafe facing this road. And we'll put, I think, 2 restrooms next to each other. Just like that. We'll also put one of these guys. I feel like this would actually be closer here to the old people's home, but they'd have this like chest thing outside. So we'll put that there. We'll also put an additional bathroom, I think, along this route, close by to where they live. And also just gives better access to the restrooms. We don't really have any way to do the piers right now. We could do a gazebo or two. I'll put a gazebo maybe just right off the path here. Oh, autosave. We'll put one right off the path here. Maybe like actually facing the corner. And then we'll do one more, I think, facing over this way, just outside the chess area. Then over here in this more like city park part, I think like where the quote unquote downtown is, I think this is where I'm going to want to have like this children's play area. We'll do additional gazebos and things. I like them more here in the corners. Now we've got tons of little gazebos around, just sprinkled throughout. Let's go ahead and turn back on our prop anarchy and turn off regular anarchy. Looks like there's someone who is very dead at the old person's home. Yes, go ahead. Grab the dead bodies. Clear them out. Goodbye. Rest in peace. Let's go ahead and begin to do some detailing. I think I'm going to quickly just fill this one here with some trees. That's where we're going to start. Let's just go make this a bit bigger, and let's just come through and just go whoop, just like this. It's going to kind of cut off the other side. We'll do a few more trees here in this area. And then for this area, we want to do some more curated gardens. Okay, so now we have our completed park. I tried to do a few different like areas. So we've got this kind of rock garden over here that I'd imagine you'd come out and you can just like walk around the rock garden. Over here in the middle, we have the info booth and the fountain, nothing too extravagant here. Over here we have two like sitting fountains. So I would think you'd sit next to the fountains and just enjoy nature. We've got our community garden, which I'm obsessed with how this looks. And I want to start doing this more everywhere. We've got this area back here, which has our cafe. So there's a little seating area with our bathrooms. And then we have a miniature little orchard over here. I do need to realign these trees, I think, but I think it looks great. Oh, and I love, look, and like the elderly are here and they're just living their best life next to the orchard. We've got Brittany, we've got Robert, and we have William, and they're all going to the restroom. Okay, do what you gotta do, guys. Now we have that filled out. Let's just quickly go ahead. I do want to... We've got one place abandoned. Building is abandoned because worker education is too low. Well, I think you're going to need to figure that out yourself. So we're going to go ahead and put in some additional business right there. And then I do want to go ahead and fill out, I think, both this area here along the water, less that little weird bit. And then I think we're going to also do... We're going to do businesses here along the front. I'm going to leave this back area empty. I want to put in... Let's do a basketball court. Just something. I know we have like, you know, we have a parking lot over here, but I want to put in something there so that we can just help those people out. And I'm thinking that this area might just become trees for now. I'm going to finally just come over here. This area is going to be offices right next to the high school, as well as some small little business back here. Now, before people get too crazy, let's put in, there's a perfect space for a path. We're just going to really load it up because once that gets all concrete, you're not going to be able to tell. Okay, I think that's really filling this area out nicely. We do have one power issue here. So let's try to solve for that. Honestly, I think we're going to solve for it by just moving her over. Everything is powered up. Everything is moving. This whole area is filled. The last little bit is I want to do just a bit of park work over here. So let's do, I can't fit anything big or grand, but I did, oh, you know what? Hold on. Right here, I think I want to put a fountain. I want a fountain of some kind, or some kind of unique building that only is in this area. Let me just turn off Anarchy again. And let's see what we've got. We do have this fountain, although this is the Fountain of Death, the Plaza of Death. And that just seems a little bit too, it's too much to have that right next to the hospital. This is the tax office? The tax office. Why don't we put this here? And I only say that because it's such a unique looking building and it kind of fits this like, you know, old towny vibe. So let's put the tax office here and then actually let's use the pencil pines. And we're just going to pencil pine our way down here. Bam. I think that looks nice. This is like the last piece that needs to be filled out before this area is pretty much finished. So let's go ahead. I want to add in one additional pathway. It's going to come straight on in and up and connect right to this middle piece. And then let's go ahead, you know, a few trees, maybe a leafy fool or two. And then let's also grab some of this ground coverage. And then maybe we'll throw down like a rock or like 100. That's fine too. Okay, so now we have that little area. We've got a little bit of death happening there, but everything's starting to fill out, which looks nice. The final piece, I think that's gonna make this area just look like it's really been thought out. I want to put in some of these things. So like these homes here, right? They're missing a little bit of love. That's not going to hit with the water the way it is. But I think we'll put one of those maybe right next to it. We have a restaurant pier. Maybe we'll put a restaurant pier out here too. Just kind of shimmy this in here. Bring this over. Here we go. And then along this way will be the two like larger piers. I want them to stay connected because I want that dirt in the middle. And so we have like this double pier moment with this here. This looks nice. Let's just give it some reeds. And I think that will like fill this area out. There we go. Oh yeah, that's perfect. All right, I think that's where we're gonna leave this part here. This is looking so good now that we've filled everything out. So we've got this brand new pier down here, which people are already coming to visit, and just kind of gives something for these houses here to do. I imagine this is great for fishing. It's just like a nice little way to come out and look out over the bay. And then we've got our new and improved park over here, which is one of our biggest parks, I think. We've got the nature area of the park, which is a little bit more just natural. Not many people use this yet, but there's also not much to do over on this road here. It's just more of a through lane. But then we have the actual curated park with our community garden and our orchard. Oh, and I'm just loving just how full it is. And it really, oh no, we've got a fire. Y'all dealing with that? Great. And then we've got our downtown, quote unquote, for this area. It's just a little commerce area, a little business, just near the airport and the university. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed this part as much as I have. I'm in love with this new area, and I'm really excited to continue to expand. I think we're gonna maybe go past that 100,000 mark. I don't know, we'll see. I'm still figuring it out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Any suggestions or things I could fix, tell me down below. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and hit subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.